Hello everybody and welcome back to NetMill74 walkthroughs. We're going to be doing Archdragon Peak this time, so hope you enjoyed, hope it's useful. We're starting at Irithil Dungeon, so make sure you travel to Irithil Dungeon and make sure you've got all these shortcuts unlocked, otherwise you won't be able to follow this path through here. All those shortcuts should have been shown in my previous video on Irithil Dungeon, so if you haven't got those, make sure you go back to that video and check that one out. As for this video, we're going to be showing you how to get to Archdragon Peak, and we're going to be showing you the two bosses there. There's quite a few things in Archdragon Peak, obviously. A lot of scales, a lot of twinks. There's a slab there as well, or actually, I'm going to say 2 slabs. And yeah, a lot of sort of thunder stuff. It's very much a miracle type area. Very focused on like lightning gems and lightning clutch ring, lightning stone plate ring, that sort of thing. So a couple of things related to that as well. What you're going to see here is you're going to actually see Archdragon Peak up on that mountain. You're going to have this guy sitting here doing a little dragon pose. And that's sort of a bit of a secret, just explaining that you need to do the dragon pose. And then that's going to teleport us up to where the area that we see there, doing this little meditation teleport type sequence. So once the scene ends, we're going to be in Archdragon Peak, and I'll just take you through all the main items in that area. I think I'll be getting all the items. I haven't actually looked at a walkthrough in terms of a proper Extra Life walkthrough where they've gone through in a lot of detail and written it all up. But I'm pretty sure I know where the items are, so should be able to find you all of them as we go through. Main enemies here are going to be those dragons with the long necks. The thing that you got to really watch out for are the ones with the axes and chains. They are brutal just because of the distance they can attack you with. The big axe boys aren't too bad. Pretty much just trying to stay behind them as much as possible, and if you've got a 100% block shield, I would definitely recommend it for those big boys. But other than that, the main thing that you want to watch out for are the axe and chains, because they will hit you from miles away. For these couple of initial guys, you can just hold up your shield, you won't have too much damage. The show tells, unfortunately, will go through the shield, but the guys with the daggers will get repelled. So they're not too big of an issue, just give them a quick backstab, and no huge worries. It's once they start to gang up on you that you'll start to encounter some issues. So there's lightning gem up there. I think there was a soul item just by this tree back here if we didn't pick it up already. Let's just make sure that we have picked that one up. I think I picked it up faster than I could even realize. Yep. And there's a homeward bone to the left. I don't even fully recommend doing it now, but I usually go around to the right first, but if you want to, there is the item here. You can quickly grab that and walk back. You will have this fireball coming towards you. That guy's going to keep shooting fireballs at you. So that's why I tend to come down the other path, down the right-hand path here. So this is just a little bit of a quicker way to get to where we're going. So we're going to be going to where those fireballs are coming from. Now there's a guy to our right here. So you want to get around him and get that backstab if you can. If you can't, just get the 2 right bumpers, because you're going to be having to deal with this guy. As soon as you dealt with him, you can't get hit by the fireball, so you get a little bit of a break. But you have this guy around the back waiting for you as well. Try and extinguish him as quick as possible, because otherwise the Shotel enemy that was shooting the fireballs at you is going to come at you. And they can drop things like large Titanite shards, which are quite useful. Titanite chunk there, make sure you pick that one up. I don't think there's any other items nearby. I think that's just a random drop. Yep. And then the items that you want to look for, there's one to the left here. That will be another Titanite chunk. No, it's an ember. Thought it was a chunk. And then up the back here, we have... Oh, I thought there was an item there. Never mind. Going up the staircase to the right, there should be another, and I'm pretty sure this is a chunk. No, it's a soul. I'm very out of practice with Archdragon Peak, unfortunately. But that's okay. We're going to come straight through this area. We're going to go to the left. I just prefer getting this left-hand area out the way first, because otherwise I forget about it. So I'll just roll past him and get a backstab. There's the lightning clutch ring here, which will increase your lightning damage, but also make you take more damage, so it's really up to you whether you want to use that. If you're a faith build, you might want to go for it. Other than that, probably not really worrying. So this is what I was meaning by the big axe, boys. Now, there's another guy left that is trying to attack me at the same time. I tend to try and take this guy out first, but the other guy can be quite annoying, so like there, he's fallen off, and that's when it gives you a chance to just get the backstab on that enemy. There is the Great Shield there, Ancient Dragon Great Shield. It's not really amazing. I've not tended to find it very useful, to be honest. Just doesn't have the same stability in that as other Great Shields. Alright, we're just going to deal with... Yep, there we go. We've dealt with that big axe boy, and now we're going to open the lever. We might actually split this into 2 videos, because I am going to need to collect the items from here after we've killed the... So you're going to have the main boss, the Ancient Wyvern, come in here and start trying to attack you. Do not engage it unless you feel like getting absolutely whooped, because you will deal a very little amount of damage. What you want to do is you want to run past him. There is actually a skip where you can jump straight onto his head from near the bell up the top, but I've never really been able to work that out, and if you're a new player, I would not recommend trying it. There's more items to the left there, but we're not going to deal with any of the items this time. We're going to come back for those in a second. Make sure you keep running at full speed, because there's a guy who's dropping behind me now, and there's going to be an enemy to my left. Roll through that if you need to, and then roll here, because that guy's going to try and use a dagger on you. Again, there's more items to the left, but we're going to just avoid them. You can just strafe to the right past a lot of these fireballs. Watch out for axe and chain, so you've got to be ready to roll there. Try and get past him as soon as you can. And oof, and that's why you need to make sure you're trying to heal whenever you get the opportunity. Go to the right to try and bait that enemy to the right, and then you can climb up. Now this is the dangerous part, because axe and chain could still be after you, and the dragon's going to be trying to attack you. So a lot of things happening there, but you can get through it. And then what you want to do is you want to drop down just onto this little platform. As soon as he finishes his fire breath, you can roll off, press right bumper, and get the plunge on the Wyvern. Now we're going to come back to this area straight afterwards to go and collect the items from that area. Alright, so I'm just putting on the symbol of avarice just to get the most out of the souls that we get for that Wyvern. And this will take you straight to the second bonfire, so that's the Dragonkin Mausoleum. We're going to teleport back to the first bonfire just to go and pick up the items that we didn't get from the boss fight area. Again, you might want to level up here. I'm not going to worry because I'm not too concerned about this area, but you might want to level up after that boss fight. Obviously it is one of the easiest bosses in the game once you know what you're doing, but first time you enter that boss arena, it's going to be absolutely brutal. So good to have a walkthrough to know what you're doing there. Alright, just to pick up the items that were in that area, and then we're going to do the next section of Archdragon Peak in the next video. So this is just a bit of a short one, just explaining what to do as you get to Archdragon Peak, how to get there, how to beat the first boss, and just getting the items that are in this area. Again, all these walkthroughs are going to be on my YouTube channel, so Denmel74 Gaming YouTube. You can check out any of them. once they're all uploaded. I think there's only the last one and this one that I haven't uploaded yet. Okay, so first of all, come to the right here and you can pick up the embers. I think another item here as well, just the dung pies. And then there's also a ring down this way, so if you actually follow this this path, be a little bit careful, you can't fall off the edge. You can get the ring of steel protection. So that's one that I tended to miss in the first couple of playthroughs that I had. I just never saw that area. But it is a nice little ring to get at this point, especially if you've come here early in the game. Large soul item. I don't think there's too much else right here. There's the soul item, and then there's pretty much going to be a bit of a break until we drop down a ladder in a second. So use those guys' shields. If they hold them up, you can just get the kick on them. Try and get the backstabs. If you don't get them, you can just get the 2 right bumpers. That'll do. And again, some nice large Titanite showers that those guys can drop. Coming further down, we turn to the left, and there's going to be that guy who shoots the fireballs. He was the one who was a little bit annoying that you had to try and dodge when we were making the run. Titanite chunk there, and then down the ladder you can pick up, I think it's some twinks, if I remember correctly. Yep, 2 twinks. So, a lot of weapons. You're going to be very happy to find those twinks there if you've come here earlier on in the game. Only reason I don't recommend coming here earlier is just because if you're new to the game and you've got these sort of enemies, you're going to struggle a bit on a lower level. Oof. That's why I hold up the shield, because they can have a couple of different attacks, like that next swipe, that are quite annoying. So again, just try to get around the back of them and you can get the backstabs. That'll be generally an instant kill if you've got the +5 weapon. And if you've got the 100% block shield, it closes this area. 2 ways to do this. There's 2 ways to come up. You can just come up the staircase like I did, or if you find you get a little bit too crowded, you can come up the other way. There's a back way. Just turning left instead of right. So just watch out for any other enemies, and we'll take on this big guy with the axe. Make sure you hold up your shield. I don't know why that shield didn't work that time. But, again, you want to get around the back of them because they do have that flame attack. And just 2 attacks at a time. Don't try to get too many attacks at once because they can turn around pretty quickly. Like that. There we go. Just checking if he's dropping anything. Yep, another shard. Make sure you pick those up, especially if you're planning to upgrade quite a few other weapons. Titanite chunks there. I don't think there's any more items just around this area. I'm just going to make sure because I don't tend to come up here very much. This boss area I tend to just leave, to be honest. But there are quite a few good items that you can get from here. Oh, there we go. We got some lightning bolts as well. Dropping back down, this is the area that we normally took through the boss fight, so again, make sure you watch out for those fireballs. And then Axe and Chain is going to be our biggest nightmare, but I actually don't recommend fighting him until you've killed this little guy, just so you don't get fireballed the whole time. If you can get a backstab, do it, because it'll prevent you from getting hit from Axe and Chain. And just make sure you're staying at full health and holding up your shield. Get around the back of him as much as possible. You can see how that 100% block shield really helps you against an enemy like that. And you can drop chunks, which is quite a nice little addition for someone who's such an annoying enemy. Anyway, get around the back of them as much as possible, get those backstabs, and that'll just save you a bit of work. Just as a little pointer, that's back into the mausoleum, so that'll be in our next video. We'll go through the mausoleum area. But there's an item that we missed up here when we were coming and doing the boss fight, so we'll come back and get it now that we don't have a giant fire-breathing dragon trying to kill us. Dropping down, now you're not going to drop down there, that's where we drop down for the dragon. We're going to come up this ladder instead. And just at the end of this little bridge, we have an item. Another 2 twinks. So it is sort of useful to come back to this area, but you'll see that we'll pick up a lot more twinks in the next section as well. So it really is up to you whether you want to come back and do this one. Now just as an added tip, you can come back down this way. And this is just another way back to the start of the area. Nothing really that you need to know about, just more something that's a bit cool. A nice little shortcut back. And that's pretty much it for the Ancient Wyvern area, and we'll be doing the Dragonkin Mausoleum in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, hope that was useful, and we'll see you in the next one.